What it do? How's everybody doing today? It's a beautiful Tuesday out today. Weather was nice. I had to work all day. I couldn't enjoy a single bit of it. But I hope everybody else was out there enjoying their days. We have a massive show today. When I tell you this, it is massive. It's going to be extraordinary. As you can see at the bottom, the ticker lays it all out on the table for you. Without further ado, I would like to give a shout out to our sponsors. But before we do that, go ahead and subscribe below. We literally need 8 more subscribers. Yes, I said that. 8 more subscribers, and we will hit 100, the goal we've been striding for. And also make sure to hit that like button. Shout out to our sponsors, Mark Novakovic and Messi_Jesse's_art. You guys already know what to do. Hit up Mark on YouTube and Messi_Jesse's on Instagram, and go to spinnyblack.com. There is loads of great music on there. He's such an inspirational artist. I hope you guys enjoy his music just as much as I do. And without further ado, we're going to bring on none other than Danaconda at night and Brother Dan during the day. How is my dude doing, Brother Dan?
Yeah, I'm doing well today, my friend. How are we doing?
Me, well, I went to the fucking game on Saturday, and as you can see, my face is completely burnt. I look like a fucking lobster right now, man. It's pretty bad. My face is peeling right here, right here. It was terrible, but the game was pretty good, even though the Cubs got destroyed. But you know, shit happens. What'd you say?
I owe you $5. I owe you a game.
Yeah, you do owe me $5 for Deebo Samuel and Darren Waller not being traded. So, but you know what? Some crazy shit happened this weekend. Dave Chappelle got attacked by a replica gun with a knife blade. Some guy got past security and tackled this man on stage. I'm going to show the video with you. Hold on 1 second.
Sorry, y'all. I got to look at the camera. Brother Dan's got to look fire.
Boom, there we are. You see that? Boom, tackle him right there. Everyone starts running on the stage. This dude runs towards the back. It was pretty fucking wild.
Football drills were happening so soon.
Yeah, right? Let me fix this real quick. Oh, there we go. That's that one. Anyways, this is a picture of the guy afterwards.
It looks like he had a good time getting stomped on.
Guys, I mean, look at this man, bro. Oh my God. How the fuck did you think you're going to go to Dave Chappelle's show over it? I think it's like Hollywood or whatever it was. Hollywood something. Where he is from. Like, there's a lot of people that know him in that area and thought, you know what? I'm going to go tackle this man on stage. It's a great idea. No, it was not a great idea. You got your ass beat. You know what? It was so bad. They're like, you know what? I think they dropped the charges against him. I think it was at least a felony that they dropped. I think the misdemeanor's still there. But they're like, he did enough. He got his fucking ass whooped. So I guess we won't make it all too bad. But, you know, Will Smith over there smacking Chris Rock on stage was giving all these, you know, motherfuckers an opportunity to run up on stage and get their ass whooped. Because that's what's going to happen. If you go on fucking stage, you're going to get your fucking ass whooped. You're going to get smacked. I'm telling you. The ground
definitely under concussion protocol after that beatdown. For sure. He went to Pound Town and didn't come back. All right.
Man. He went straight to the hospital. That's not how he thought it was going to go. No. It's like that one scene from fucking The Other Guys when Mark Wahlberg saying a whole bunch of shit to fucking Will Ferrell, and then Will Ferrell snaps back with the big tuna joke. He's like, that's not how you thought it was going to go, did you? Yeah, there's the same thing that this guy thought. He's like, it's not how I thought it was going to go. Got my fucking ass whooped. I'm never doing that again.
Game over.
I thought that shit was hilarious.
Game over. What are we going to do?
Something that does bring me to attention, though, is how the fuck did he get a replica gun with a knife past the security? Like, is it one of those security that goes to, like, I think it's like not even TSA. It's like the security fest for festivals. They just, all right, go through. All right, go through. All right, go through. Like, they're not even checking you. It's like, what are you fucking doing here, buddy? Like, fuck off, man. Like, I'm over here bringing a bomb in and shit like that, and you're going to let me in right away. Like, fucking idiot.
Crazy.
Shit was hilarious though. So, let's see. The NFL plans a 2-day diversity network seminar for prospective head coaches and GMs. Let's see. I had it on here. Maybe I didn't. I took it out. But anyways, so the commissioner of the Pac-12, George Kliavkoff, and commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, went to D.C. on Thursday, and I think it was last Thursday, to meet with senators and lobbyists in their efforts to get some legislation around this name, image, likeness deals. And pretty much what's happening is all these guys that are inside the NCAA, say like you're a player, you're on a team, you probably have some sort of debt, your family's probably got some sort of debt, and these boosters, you're not supposed to, they're doing like these little loophole things. They're getting a hold of these players and letting them know, hey man, you come to our team and we're going to give you this much money, $1 million, $2 million. Yeah. And these kids are like, oh, damn. All right, I'm down. But the crazy shit that's happening nowadays is, say one team calls him, offers him 500,000. He's like, you know what? I'll give you a call soon. I'm going to talk this over with my parents and I'll get back to you. And they're like, all right, cool, cool, cool. That kid probably calls another fucking team. It's like, yo, this guy wants to offer me 500 grand. What are you going to do for me? And they're like, you know what? We'll do 900 grand. How's that sound? 900 grand? And he's like, all right, you know what? Let me talk it over with my parents and I'll get back to you. Calls probably a third or fourth team, does the same fucking shit. They're like millions of dollars. Now they're at 3 million. Calls back the first team. It's like, yo, man, this team's offered me $3 million. What can you do? And I'm obviously that first team is probably like, well, fuck, we can't afford that, you know. I'm just gonna say nah. But best of luck to you, sir. And obviously, he's just going to go with the team that pays him the most money because obviously these kids are in so much, like not in so much debt, but they have these debts, and you getting such a big chunk of change, you're not always guaranteed to go to the NFL. So you're getting this big chunk of change, and you're getting signed to this team, and it's kind of got out of hand, and it needed some little barriers to it. In addition to that, these boosters aren't even supposed to be talking to their players. It's literally illegal. It's against the rules. And they've been like trying to steal players from other teams. What I've noticed lately is you've been seeing some, I think his name was like Isaiah Woods or some shit. He entered the transfer portal, and there was rumors that another team was trying to pay him a lot more money to join their team and leave the other team. You know, it's like, damn. I think he ended up staying and not leaving that team, but it's like a big fucking thing right now. Everyone just wants to steal these players. Well, finally, they finally put some what's the word I'm looking for? Guardrails, I guess you could say. And this is what it is. The NCAA's Division I Board of Directors published new guidelines Monday to clarify that boosters, including recently created companies designed to provide athletes at a particular school with endorsement deals, should not have any contact with prospective college athletes, their family members, or their representatives. In addition, member schools received new guidelines Monday saying that boosters or collectives who contact recruits or sign athletes to contracts that are contingent upon a player's attendance at a particular school are breaking the NCAA rules. The Division I Board of Directors said that the NCAA could pursue sanctions against anyone who has egregiously violated these rules. Let me get rid of this little thing real quick. They violated these rules in the past 10 months since the name, image, likeness rules were changed, but there are likely to focus more on issues that come up in the future. Now, that's not to say that everyone who's fucking, disregarded the rules in the past is getting away with it. They're probably going to go after those guys that have done it like way too much and too extensively and made it blatantly obvious. Like they're going to go after those people, the ones that really didn't do it too much, did it here and there. They're probably like, smack on the wrist, get the fuck out of here. What are your thoughts on this whole name, image, likeness thing? What are your thoughts on the boosters interfering? What are your thoughts on these players getting all this money? What are your thoughts on all of it?
I'm okay with it to a certain extent. There should be a limit on how many schools they can contact. I get it. Like if you're in college and you have the potential to get to the next professional level, but monitoring could be hindering your development or your family's development or making you have hardships in school, whether you can't eat, whether you can't buy books, whether you don't have shelter, or vice versa. However, when you start getting in that $1 million plus range and start going to school to school to school, it kind of changes the talent gaps, and it could change the whole landscape of college football. Well, not just football, any sport for that matter. And obviously, there should be a limit on how many schools you could contact and do that with. Because now it sounds like a negotiation process at that point.
I agree. I mean, when it's a negotiation process and it's just these kids are doing all this shit, like I'm all for it. I think that all these kids should get paid, rightfully so. And this is one of the only chances they're probably ever going to get. And they balled out in high school. They definitely deserve it. But to a certain extent, I also think that they shouldn't get too much money, because what is too much? Like, do they know, like, getting millions of dollars at and you're so young, some of these kids aren't going to know what to do with it. Like, they're going to get in some trouble. Like, they might make some bad investment. Like, there's going to be a lot of shit that goes down, and it's going to be, some repercussions from some of this stuff. But not only that, these boosters, they definitely can't be interfering, especially if you have a player who's already signed and active on another college roster. You can't be still. I mean, it's probably going to happen still, but you can't be doing that, because it affects that program. That's why Alabama's as great as they are. Ohio State's as great as they are. Like, they have really good recruiting things. Plus, they're big money. They have loads of money out there and whatnot, as opposed to some of these other smaller schools who don't have so much money. And they want to sign an exceptional player and keep that person on their team. It affects everyone in that market. So I hate when boosters do that. I totally understand it. It's just, I'm kind of glad they have some sort of barriers now, and they're going to start harping on it. But from all of this, I feel like there's going to be a shit ton of lawsuits. I feel like there's going to be a lot of lawsuits coming out, teams trying to sue other teams because that person stole their player, and so on and so forth.
Like I said, that's why there's got to be a limit to how many teams a player you can do this with, how many colleges can reach out. Everybody's got to be kind of on the same page, but it's not going to be a bulletproof system. It's hard to regulate something like this. There could be so many backdoor deals and stuff. And NCAA, the money-making, well-oiled machine. I agree that players should get played because there's no guarantees they'll make it to the next level. But when you have Big Tens, you have national championship games, it's high televised games, when people are putting money on these games. So even at the collegiate level, these players are still offering entertainment, even if it's not at a professional level yet, or if they never do it. So I think there should be some kind of compensation. But this player going to that school or basically negotiating, or this school losing that player, there's got to be a better system to go along with that.
I agree. I mean, right now, what I think, it's just a recruiting tool. Essentially, it just gives these teams a way to try to bring them to their team. Like, okay, how about I pay you this much? Sound good? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Like that's pretty much what it is. It's literally a recruiting tool. But moving on from that, I know you saw this earlier, but Tyreek Hill has challenged DK to a race. He put out a tweet, and I'll put that tweet up right now. He said, "Put 50K and the money goes to charity. If you want it, you win. Or if the charity that you want, if you win, DM you and you was scared. I got receipts." And I was watching that interview between DK Metcalf, and I forgot who the other person was, but DK Metcalf was like, "Yeah, I got a different type of speed. I got DK speed." Well, if you got DK speed, bro, I say put your money where your mouth is. And it's also going, to a good cause. Tyreek Hill said, just donate that money to charity. I don't even want it. You can just give it to charity, bro. What are your thoughts on that, man? Who do you think would win? And I'm just going to say right now, I think Tyreek Hill would win. But who do you think would win? And do you think DK Metcalf should put his money where his mouth is?
I think DK Metcalf should put his money where his mouth is. I think he's really fast. But Tyreek Hill is a different kind of fast. And don't get me wrong, I know we've seen a couple of plays when you see DK Metcalf fucking going, you know what I mean? But I still think Tyreek has this in the bag. That's not even close.
Agreed. I think that I mean, if you notice, I think it was there was like either a draft or like some charity run or something like that, and he didn't even run fast in it. Like he ran it like I don't know, maybe a quarter speed, and he still was pretty close to the other guys. I think it was Michael Parsons that won or something like that. I forgot where that was at, but cheetah speed, bro. Like there ain't no way at all that DK's gonna catch that, man. I forgot what his 40 was back in college or whatever, but there's no way. There's not a single way that that's gonna happen. You know what? I just realized. Ah. So I was talking about the name, image, likeness, but I think I skipped a thing. I think I went straight into the recruiting tool. I think I brought up a topic and then right past through. So I'm gonna go back to something. So the NFL plans a 2-day diversity network seminar for prospective head coaches and general managers. I'm gonna share my screen with you real quick so you guys can see it. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. Okay.
All right, buddy.
All right, so I'll read it out. This is on ESPN. Dan Graziano. I don't know how you say it. Fuck it. I'm sorry, man. In effort to address its problems with diversity in its coaching and front office ranks, the NFL will hold a seminar for 64 prospective head coaching and general manager candidates at its annual spring owners meeting later this month in Atlanta. According to the memo obtained by ESPN, which was sent to NFL team owners, head coaches, and general managers on April 8th, the 2-day meeting will begin on May 23rd and will end on the 24th. Will feature networking opportunities for diverse, prospective, club-nominated head coaching and general manager prospects with team owners and other high-ranking executives. Each NFL team, the memo says, will nominate 2 participants, one from the coaching side and one from the player personnel side. The memo asks that those participants be senior women and minority head high potential coach or player personnel candidates. A source said that the group of 64, so that means there's going to be 64 of those individuals, will participate in sessions and programs designed to further their education on the business of football and discuss coaching techniques. But the main goal of the program is to get minority candidates for head coach and general manager openings FaceTime with the league's highest ranking decision makers. The idea grew out of feedback the league's diversity committee received at the NFL Scouting Combine in March from candidates, some who were successful and some who were not. From the most recent head coach / general managing hiring cycle, some of those candidates told the committee that one of those things that bothered them about the process was for the first time, though, when they went for those interviews for the first time, that was the first time that they ever met the owners. So, in reading that, Danny, what are your thoughts on that, man?
It's something different. I see where they're going with that a little bit. I think they're just trying to fix this whole situation with the problem they had with the coaches that got fired. So yeah, they had these seminars to train and put future prospects in better positions so the league doesn't get sued or it doesn't give them bad publicity. I think this is all that it's used for, personally. I don't think it's about ethnic background, race, or anything other than they just don't want any more drama.
So you don't think they're trying to like progress? You just think this is just another smoke screen. They're just saying this and just trying to I don't know bring less tension to the Brian Flores lawsuit.
I mean, no matter what I feel, and which I feel strongly about it. No matter what, race is always going to be a problem. No matter if we try to fix it or not. Which, yeah, you want you want equality, you want in the job force, you want things to be fair. But no matter what, there's always going to be tension, especially at the high levels like this, and especially in the job force or a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You're going to have issues no matter if you fix it or not. Somewhere down the line you will. I think this is just to put a little Band-Aid over something. But history always repeats itself. So.
Got a point. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be solved anytime soon. I think it'll be a long time before that happens. But I kind of like it in a way because, I mean, in a way, just like it said in that article, there's a lot of candidates out there that have never ever met an owner, and then they meet that owner for the very first time. That owner doesn't know anything about them, and not saying that they're racist, but there's a lot of owners that think that white candidates are a whole league above minority candidates, whether it's women or whether it's people of color, or Hispanics, anything like that. And I feel like it's a way for them to actually mingle and meet these individuals that are the high ranking people that make all those decisions. And you're meeting these general managers, the potential general managers and potential head coaches for the very first time. Maybe it might change their perspective on things. Maybe they're like, you know what? Why was I thinking that these guys were like they have such great minds? Like it could change them. Maybe not. I mean, some people are just really stubborn and are always going to stick to their ways. And you could be right that they're just doing this as a smoke screen, and they don't really care too much about it. They're just saying it just to say it. So I totally get it, bro. Hopefully, like, this is for the better. Hopefully this does help, give them an opportunity to meet these owners and maybe put it in their head like, yo, I'm really good for the job. So if you need a candidate in the future, I'm your guy. Well, I like it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me add this. And this is not even to come out of a negative connotation whatsoever.
Okay.
We can agree there's more bad people in the world than good. It's bad things than it is to do good things, right? To live a nice life and do things the right way. So for me to come off and say it's a smokescreen, yeah, that's a little ballsy right there. I get it. But I look at it, this is like a Band-Aid. Because why didn't you have this idea from the first place? Nobody's blind from what's going on in different organizations. You see what's going on. You acknowledge it now that it's gone out to the media. You don't want to lose money from your fans. You don't want to lose viewers, ratings. You're trying to fix the problem now.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I know that they created this whole diversity committee, and the diversity committee is the one who came up with this idea. So it's like, why did it take so long to come up with this type of idea? And why did you have to form a committee in order for you guys just to make smart, educated decisions and not belittle, the majority of the league? But that's a whole nother story, and we'll get to that eventually. Hopefully in the future, like this is some progress that gets made in the head coaching candidates and the general managing candidates field.
And don't get me wrong, I'd like to see a female head coach someday. I would like to see more African Americans as head coach or Hispanics. Straight, I hope someday I become Tom Brady's personal lottery boy. But these are just realistic goals that need to happen down the road, especially. It's important.
Very important. I mean, you could be having the next Bill Belichick, and then you just keep blowing that dude away because you think that minorities are not great for the NFL or women aren't great for the NFL, things like that. Well, moving on, there's some other things, because this is not the only scandal that the NFL has going on. Apparently, Don Ventral is no longer with the Raiders organization. We will have no further comment at this time. I'm going to share Mick Akers' tweet for you real quick, and you're going to see what some of these guys have said. It's juicy. Share screen. And it is this one. Alrighty. So Don Ventral said he was fired by Mark Davis in retaliation to concerns he brought up of a hostile work environment within the organization that were ignored. Then he brought them up to the NFL, and he has retained legal counsel regarding his firing. And this is the little message that was sent out. Excuse me. Today, Mark Davis terminated my employment as a president of the Las Vegas Raiders. I've committed almost 18 years of my life to the success of the Raiders as general counsel and president. I take that responsibility very seriously, which is why multiple written complaints from employees that Mark created a hostile work environment and engaged in other potential misconduct caused me grave concern. When Mark was confronted about these issues, he was dismissive and did not demonstrate the warranted level of concern. Given this, I informed the NFL of these issues and of Mark's unacceptable response. Soon thereafter, I was fired in retaliation for raising these concerns. I firmly stand by my decision to elevate these issues to protect the organization and its female employees. I remain committed to doing everything in my power to support the Raiders, the Las Vegas community, and that I now call home. And I have retained counsel and will have no further comment at this time. Like, shout out to that guy, Don Van Shaw. Thank you for doing that. But another scandal. So we just had, Dan Snyder and his whole shit with the Washington Commanders. You have the whole race issue with Brian Flores. That's been going on for years. I mean, it's shot not just with him, but now you have another NFL team who has a hostile work environment, and it starts with owner Mark Davis. He literally blew it, so didn't give a fuck about it. This is allegedly. Don't know if this is true, but what are your thoughts on this, Danny?
Well, I like when he said he was president. When I read Mark Davis's portion of the whole issue, he referred to him as interim president and not actually a president. So maybe maybe. I mean, whenever you claim that there's issues in the work environment, something that's not up to conduct, that's an issue. You got to obviously investigate that. However, maybe he wanted a promotion and he didn't get it. Maybe he wanted to move in a different direction. And so, all right, you're not going to give me what I want. Then I'm going to say this all about your organization. Why didn't the females come out?
No. He was president.
I thought it was an interim.
He was fired, I believe. I can go back to the tweet. Hold up. History. Boom, 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 boom. No, he says employment as the president of the Las Vegas Raiders.
I wonder what I read on Mark Davis's part then. But
yeah. Oh, you're talking about the tweet that he put out?
Yeah.
Let me go to the Raiders real quick. Raiders.
While you're looking up, why didn't the females that getting harassed come out on their end? Were they scared or this or that? I mean,
that's usually what it is. But go ahead.
When there's never an allegation like that, it's really big. So I mean, which side's right, which one's wrong? I mean, there's not enough evidence yet.
So you're on Mark Davis's side until proven guilty, essentially?
Why did this come out now? Why did it have to come out after his firing?
It was like immediate. It was like the same day. So like the same day he got fired is the same day that Don Ventrell said this shit.
That should have been said prior.
Well, I mean, he brought it up to the NFL. It was the same day, is what I'm saying. Like he all this stuff. All these girls came up to him apparently and told him about these issues. And I don't know what the time frame was, but he brought it to Mark Davis's attention. Mark Davis just said, "I don't give a fuck," and because he said he don't give a fuck, he went to the NFL about it. Again, I don't know what the time frame was for him giving it to the NFL and bringing it to their attention. But Mark Davis found out about him bringing it to their attention. He didn't like that, so he fired him. It is allegedly what Don Ventrell has been saying. So
I'm not said she said side or vice versa, or he said or whatever. But I will say if there is harassment or there's sexual harassment or anything like that, the job force, shame on Mark Davis. But I'm not going to pick a side until more information comes out.
I feel you on that, man. I'm not on any side either, like I said, allegedly. This raises a lot of concerns, though. If there's another scandal that's going on inside the Oakland Raiders, or not Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders Association or organization, I mean, is every NFL team like this? Like, that's what it's starting to be like. Is the NFL like this? The NFL has all these scandals that keep happening. It's just like, why is this a thing? Why you got Dan Snyder? They're about to boot him from the league. Now you got Mark Davis doing all this. Hopefully that is not the case. Hopefully Mark Davis did not do that. Hopefully there is literally another reason. But also what raises my concern is Mark Davis hasn't come public about anything. He just denied the claims. That was it. He's like, that ain't true. But he hasn't came out and told us why he fired him. That would solve some things. Oh, we fired him because of this. That might help. He hasn't said anything else about that lately, but I agree. We need to get some more information about this before we make any decisions or take any sides on anything. And I hope for the better. I mean, if it is that those girls are getting sexually harassed or harassed in general, or it's a hostile work environment, and Don Ventrell got fired for it, he definitely deserves a job again somewhere else in some other organization. Because shout out to that guy. If things are happening and he's bringing it to light, you need people like him all around the NFL, like especially in those high positions. If you got someone who's that high up and is bringing it to the owner's attention, and the owner's like, I don't give a fuck about it, that is very concerning. So if Don Ventrell is telling the truth and that did happen, shout out to him for trying to bring down, the whole, not bring down the whole organization, but bring it to light so everyone can see. But yeah, we'll move on from that. All right, so NFL teams total miles traveled throughout the season. I'm going to show you this real quick. We're going to do the first 16 and the last 16. So we got a bunch of them. You got the Seahawks at the very top. That means throughout the season, when they're going to go visit other teams to play them, they have to travel 29,446 miles. Let me take this off the screen for you so you guys can see a little bit. LA Rams down there at 17,204. Where's your Patriots at? They're not on this page. No. Okay. Oh, yeah, they are. They're right there. 18,944. And the next, this is the other remaining. So the Pittsburgh Steelers barely have to travel this year. 6,442 miles. Must be nice. But goddamn, I always think about this, and this always probably plays into like a big thing in my opinion, anyways. Whenever teams have to travel so far, especially like London and things like that, I feel like those teams get so jet lagged that they don't compete to their best ability that they could, because they're so jet lagged from being on the plane for so long. They don't really have time to like enjoy themselves and take their time off. What are your thoughts on the whole team miles thing?
Oh man, well, obviously if we're gonna have a lot of miles to travel, especially London, I know Buccaneers and getting the other team. I think it was the Seahawks. They play in Munich, Germany this year. What do you have when you have to play? And then Christmas Day, you have the Broncos going. I mean, you have holiday traveling and stuff like that. So it gets a little frustrating at that point. So I would say this: if we have to travel on those kind of crazy distances, they should have the teams leave earlier, give them more rest. Maybe instead of have a game on a Sunday, have it like in the Sunday night. Give them hours like they get their feet, get something together, because that's a lot of wear and tear on somebody. And not even the best of the best could always take that. I don't care if you're a professional athlete or not. Like when you're tired, you're tired. Those trips could be a lot of draining. You know what I mean? Physically, mentally, and especially the older players with families. So, I mean, that's tough.
I agree, man. So, like, I think personally they should do it, and especially if you're going to London, they should schedule those games right after a bye week. You know what I mean? You have 2 weeks essentially to get to London and do your thing. I think that'd be plenty of time. It might help these players a little bit more. They don't have to travel super far to get someplace and only have a little amount of time to do that, or even practice or anything like that, because it takes away a lot of time, especially for traveling to London or Germany or some of those other places. Why not? They're super far. So that you got to end practice early, or you can only get so much in. Like, it's just so much that goes into that. I feel like it should be a bye week before that stuff happens, and then they go into doing it. When you have a team that's going from one side of the United States to the other side of the United States, again, I think there should be a bye week in there. I'm pretty sure we're going to go to 18 games here in the future. They should add 2 bye weeks in there to help with all that stuff. I know sometimes, because you're playing, so many games in a row and whatnot, you're not going to have it to where, you might have to travel across the country 3 or 4 times. That sucks. Okay. The longest one that they have, I feel like should have the bye week, or maybe have a bye week in between those ones. You know what I mean?
It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. I've been there. I'm about to do it for fucking Mexico here in June, bro, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Right.
Not at all. I am not a fan of planes. I fucking hate them. I just know I have to go on them.
Yeah, I don't either. Whoever's on a plane with me usually has to hold my hand. Make sure I squeeze it tight. Oh, tight. Sorry, the camera.
Oh, you're okay. Let's see. So we got some new news. Rumors are swirling that Baker Mayfield wondered last season if Kevin Stefanski and the Browns were trying to make him look as terrible as possible. I'm going to share an article with you real quick. Oops, clicked the wrong button.
Seems like a cop out if you ask me.
You said what?
Seems like a cop out if you ask me.
There's always a cop out, bro. So this is ESPN writer Jake Trotter. This is pretty much what they were saying. The Browns couldn't swing a train with the Carolina Panthers or anyone else. No one really wants to pay that salary for Baker Mayfield. But a lot of stuff is coming to light. I want to say it was right here. Mayfield completed about 82% of his passes in his first 2 games last season, the best rate in the NFL. I didn't even know that. The rest of the way, while wearing a harness to keep his left shoulder in place, Mayfield's completion rate fell to 57.7%, second worst in the league because he had a torn labrum and he played the entire season through it. Do I think he should have played the entire season on it?
Okay, snacks and popcorn are going to be expensive. Let's just accept that. Going to the movies?
Cut me off, quiet man. I don't think he should have been playing on that torn labrum. I think he should have just stopped and let himself get healed and then came back after that. Whenever you play through an injury, it's pretty much your excuse. Like it's you're the one who's doing it. You know, you can tell them that you don't want to play, but I think, you know, everyone wants to be a team player. They want to go out there and they want to show that they're tough. And I feel like that hurt his value in general. But also, let's see. OBJ and the whole Odell Beckham Sr. thing, saying that he wasn't throwing to OBJ, that also hurt his value. Started, you know, giving some turmoil in the locker room. Let's see.
And he had a torn shoulder labrum or whatever. So how could you like constantly always be accurate with your throwing? That I didn't know. So I thought he was just regressing.
Nope. Yep. Torn labrum. OBJ's father, you know, talking crap about him, the locker room losing him. There was, let's see. He says that he hurt the team. And then all of a sudden, then I started reading this. It says, as Mayfield was losing confidence in himself, he had also begun losing faith in Stefanski. According to multiple sources, even though the two had thrived the year before during Cleveland's unexpected playoff run, it says that that feeling escalated the next week after they lost. And it said that he called Baker Mayfield was sacked 9 times in a game, and he called out Stefanski's game plan. He's like, when you got the best defensive player of the year over there, and we're not, you know, even giving our rookie tackle a whole lot of help, it's not going to be good for us. And of course, that's what happened when you had 9 sacks and 10 inconsecutive completions. So, I mean, whenever you start having that turmoil with the head coach and one, thought that's never good. And then whenever, you know, he's pretty stubborn. I remember him, you know, saying shit to what's his name? Was it Hugh Jackson on the team when he was there? He was like pretty much staring him down when he became like an assistant or a defensive coordinator or something like that somewhere else. I remember him like staring him down, you know, pretty much saying, we're doing good without you and stuff. Like, it's immature. You know, I know he was young at the time and whatnot, but I feel like he's just literally making excuses. But we could see, you know, I don't know, man. I what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, this is what's got to happen. Obviously, everybody's going to want to pay that contract. Okay, Baker Mayfield looks bad. He looks like an immature child. However, I didn't know about the shoulder injury and everything, so you want to give the benefit of the doubt. He did show flashes of being good. It kind of reminds me of like Jay Cutler. One game you're really good, and the next day I'm like, wow, how are you're even in the league? And they just kind of polarizing. You know what I mean? There we go. You know what I mean? There we go. Tongue twister. Blah. But they're kind of like the same person almost with their personalities. I said he just needs to get traded or released.
I agree. I mean, me personally, I feel like whenever you're butting heads with your head coach, it never spells anything good for the NFL. I mean, not for the NFL, but for the team. And I don't think he lost the locker room because of OBJ. Maybe because of that, him questioning the game plan of his head coach, you know, and him all of a sudden starting to butt heads with him, caused turmoil with everybody else in the group because, you know, everyone has to take accountability for their actions. So maybe everyone else thought that maybe he didn't have a great performance, and it was actually on Baker, and they actually agreed with their head coach. You know, when you have a locker room and some other guys trying to be a bad seed, it can be it's like a bad apple. You know, you get that bad apple and it just keeps going bad, and then all the other bad apples around it get even better. You know, it's one of those things, man. I just feel like he needs a new scenery for sure. Cleveland Browns need to give it up. Ain't no one giving them that fucking money. Like, literally cut the dude, or you can continue to play if you want to fucking do that shit. I think that's ridiculous. Who the fuck wants to do that? But you're gonna keep him on the team the entire time through training camp and all that? Ridiculous. Cut the motherfucker. Let him go somewhere else. Let him try to compete for a backup role. Let him try to compete for a starting job. I mean, there's plenty of jobs out there right now where I feel like he could be a starter for. Shit, he can go to the fucking Bears and compete against Justin Fields, man. If he really thinks he's that good, I mean, we shall see. Like I said, he didn't do himself any fucking favors with that torn labrum and the fact that OBJ did that shit and was bogus. We have a viewer that said some shit. Chrissy _92 said, "Sup, dude? Sup, Chrissy? Sup, dude?" Yeah, just I don't get it, man. But hopefully he figures it the fuck out. Also,
he's your franchise for the Colts in the future, so I hope so.
Shut the fuck up. No, that fucking bullshit. I don't want his ass coming on our team. Drama. I mean, I do like his commercials.
Love the drama. Big Blue. He'd be good in Big Blue. He could throw interceptions at the right perfect time.
Bro, we have Matt Ryan, and he's a breath of fresh air, according to Marcus Brady. Apparently, what's his name? Reggie Wayne says, "Wow, he reminds me of Peyton Manning so much, it makes me want to throw up."
Peyton who?
I will slap you through this fucking screen, bro.
I was watching 100 Peyton Places last night. I gotta say, it was totally awesome. He is funny. He's funny as hell.
Yeah, I liked Peyton Places too. I liked the Manning cast when he was going on. I think it was the Monday Night Football throughout the season a couple times last year. Man, him and Eli Manning together, they're just fucking. They're hilarious, dude. I love those two.
Eli's terrible.
Eli is pretty terrible. But he's funny on the microphone.
Not during the Super Bowl, he's not.
Well, really? I don't know. Your Patriots have something else to say about that, buddy. You guys lost 2 to him. He's your kryptonite. But Matt Ryan coming to the Colts. I am enjoying this so much because last year, like I told you, like a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Carson Wentz, the narrative is different. When Carson Wentz came in, we were always talking about him being broken. I feel like there is just a different feeling in Indianapolis right now with Matt Ryan being there. Everyone is talking about how he's like getting with the receivers and talking to them and seeing how great they are and wanting to get on rapport with them and make sure that, he's not, because they're young receivers. And obviously, I don't know if anyone knows this, but he pretty much made Julio Jones. He was a young receiver when he came to the league. Roddy White was a young receiver when he came to the league. I can go on about that. So maybe I'm not too worried about having some young receivers.
Well, actually, Rodney White was already in the league when he got drafted in 2000, I believe, 2009.
He's still pretty young, though.
Well, he retired in like 2006. 2010.
2006?
No, 2010. I meant 2010.
When did Roddy White retire?
2010. It was either 2010 or 11, I promise.
I'm not gonna go in and read all that. I don't think so. But regardless, though, like he's set up for success. There is and even what's his name? Irsay's talking about fucking Mars, bro. He was on the Pat McAfee show talking about how like, oh, we're gonna go to the Mars, here soon and shit like that. And he's talking about how fucking pretty much Matt Ryan's a goddamn astronaut and he's taking us to the Super Bowl apparently, dude. So I understand different feeling in Indianapolis.
Just don't give him a 28-3 lead against Tom Brady.
I don't give a fuck. You can tell Tom Brady to meet us. It'll be the Buccaneers versus the Colts there. And guess what? This time it's going to be turned around 28-3. We have a way better defense than the fucking Falcons had at that time. We're just going to keep that motherfucker at 3. And he ain't scoring any more points. And he can shut the fuck up and he can go retire and go do his broadcasting shit, which we'll talk about later. But speaking of defense on the Colts, Darius Leonard, he opened up about mental health. Oops, let me get that off the screen right quick. Indianapolis Colts linebacker Darius Leonard spoke about his mental health in a recent chat with reporters, noting in particular that he fell out of love with football and that he wasn't enjoying the sport anymore. In this profession, sometimes you feel like you don't have to say so, or you don't have a say so in your personal life just because it's all football, Leonard said, per Nate Atkins of the Indianapolis Star. When you feel like you have to hold a shape up on your personal life because of your football life, it eats you up. Hold on, let me remove this real quick because I want to read that last part down at the bottom. The 2021 campaign was another great season for Leonard, but he told reporters he faced challenges toward the end of the year and immediately afterward. For me, it was more mental last year. I wasn't in the right mental space to hold everybody accountable, Leonard said. I mean, obviously, look at the fucking Jaguars game. Anyways, I felt like I let the team down in that aspect in the last 2 games.
Yes, you did.
The Colts needed one win in their final 2 games to make the playoffs after defeating the Arizona Cardinals on Christmas Day. However, they fell at home to Las Vegas Raiders before moving and losing to the 2-14 Jaguars the week before. In addition to that, in the midst of all that, Leonard dealt with numerous hardships, including his father and his sister getting sick, a death of his cousin, a recurring ankle injury, and his own bout with COVID-19. After the season, Leonard got away from football for about 2 months to work on himself. I had to work on me as a person. Leonard also wrote a letter to himself per Atkins. Dear mental health, first off, I would like to say that you are one tough guy to fight. But each day I continue to fight. Each day I continue to go to war, and each day I continue to win this battle against you. Leonard also imparted on an important message to all in his press conference per Atkins. I ask everybody how they're doing. Sometimes it's okay to ask me how I'm doing. Don't ask me just to ask me. Ask me to truly have a conversation with me and to understand that I'm a human too. I have problems. I go through things that a lot of people are going through as well. So what are your thoughts on the whole mental health thing, man?
First of all, I'm glad he brought that to light. I don't think it's brought up enough, especially from a male perspective, health, how big of an issue it can be, especially as an athlete. And being as a former athlete as myself, expect not me at the professional level, but just an athlete. And I think you can contest to this at some points. When things are not going up to expectations and you're not performing at a high level, whether that's academically or a sport or relationships with people, I mean, you can get down. And sometimes you can't get out of that hole. And sometimes you don't have the best supporting cast around you or people around you. And you use negative influences, or sometimes you have everything around you and it still doesn't work out. It's a very unique thing, and I'm glad he brought it to light, because sometimes you just need to put your hand out there and be like, hey, I need help. And that's okay. Ask for help. It's when you don't seek it, it's when it becomes problematic. So I'm glad he brought it out there. I'm glad he took the 2 months off, because football is not everything. Yeah, he plays at a very high level, one of the best linebackers in the league. But that doesn't mean he's not susceptible from being down or depressed or just being in a rut. So I'm glad he brought that up. And I don't think enough people bring it up from a male's perspective on mental health, because we have to have this mindset that we're the strongest and it's not okay to be down or be broken down. So I'm glad it was brought up.
Yeah, I agree, man. I feel like exactly what you said. You know, as males, we're supposed to be the tough ones. And when you're playing at a high level that he's playing at, and you're making the kind of money that he's making, a lot of people don't give a fuck about that shit. Sometimes they act like they're not humans and that they're just commodities on a team. Like, okay, you go out there and you do this. This is what you need to do. I don't care about your mental health. You know, I like that, at the Colts, they have what's called Kicking the Stigma. It's a mental health organization that deals with those types of issues, which is really amazing. And he's also a big part of that. I'm glad that he actually brings these things to light, because it kind of relates to people like us. We're the same people. We're humans. So when we say people like us, we are these people. So when he's having these issues and we can relate to him, it's like, oh, damn. So we're not the only ones that go through this. Like, I mean, I know there's so many issues out there with people, whether it's, you know, issues with money, issues with drugs and trying to battle that and stay away from that, issues with alcohol, issues with like relationships, issues not getting relationships. I mean, I can go on. That mental health can be so taxing. And when you're playing at elite level in the NFL, you have to have your mind sharp all the time. And sometimes when you're not on your game and you're doing terrible, you might start thinking, damn, am I good at this anymore? Like, can I still compete? Some of those people, they fade away from the NFL or whatever sport that they're playing, because at that time they thought that they were terrible. I mean, how many one-hit wonders have you heard of in the NFL? How many people have you seen come in the NFL, play for a couple of years, and then they just fade away? All of a sudden they come back again and they're doing well again. It's just because I feel like they grow through this little rut. So I am so glad that he goes out there and he says that. I mean, I'm glad it's even on my team. Like, I never would think someone on my team would even come out and say some shit like that. So, it really goes to show, like, you guys aren't the only ones out there. This is half the reason why I do this show. People that listen to our show, I want to give them a way to just like relate to us. Like, you can come and you can just watch us and you're taking a break away from your actual life that's going on at the moment, whether it's for 30 minutes while we do this or whether it's for an hour and a half. Your mental break, I just want you to enjoy, have a good laugh here and there, keep up to date with what's going on in the NFL, because I know people have busy lives that can't always be into the, Bleacher Report and ESPN and reading everything that's going on. You just watch my show and we tell you all about it. So, like that cerebral hiatus is what I call it.
And you know what? I want to add something too. I was in a deep, dark depression a couple years ago. But you got me out of it after you beat me 90-14 in Madden. I was very in a dark place about that game. Wake up in a cold sweat. But you grabbed my hand. You told me, don't worry, kid. Get good. And you know what? I came back and beat you the next 100 games. So it was good stuff.
No, did not beat me the next 100 games. I do know that you were very terrible at one point in time. There was one person who's actually worse than you at that moment.
I'm like the best now in the world.
You're definitely not the best in the world, but you're definitely really, really great.
Thank you. Can you say that one more time?
You're pretty great.
Can you say it how you said it before, though? Like, really great? Hyping me up to new levels. I love it.
Let me put it this way. Like, when I used to face you and like other people, because I think at one point in time, I think it was like 2012 or some shit, I was 5th in the world at Madden. I was just playing all the time and just beating the shit out of people and stuff, and I didn't give a fuck. And it gets kind of depressing. You got like 150 wins and like 5 losses, and the 5 losses are against the top 4 people. It's like, fuck, dude. It gets sad beating everyone's ass all the time. So I had to like tell you, because I want to motivate people so that they get better, so they give me a challenge, because I like a challenge, bro. Now I'm terrible. I mean, I wouldn't even rephrase that. I'm not terrible. I'm still good, but I'm not as good as those people are online. Like, after 2012, I don't know what the fuck happened. Someone started taking steroids and playing the game, and their fingers, whatever the fuck that they're doing, their knowledge, their mindset, like, they're just on it. They have the fucking playbook in their brain already. So as I'm trying to play them, it's like, what the fuck's going on? How do you know what play I'm picking, bro?
I thrown over a linebacker because he moves like a safety, and I jumps like a safety, so it's like almost not realistic. I'm like, all right.
You used to be so bad, bro. I used to beat you so bad, but all of a sudden, I think it was the first couple of times I played you, I think in 2021, or it might have been 2020. I think it was 2020, that game. Yeah, 2020. Wait, is the new one? Yeah, the new one's about to be 2023, right?
2023, I think, yeah.
Oh yeah, 2021. You all of a sudden started beating me a lot of games. There's a lot of games you were beating me. It's because you were using your linebacker. I've never seen you use the linebacker before. I've seen other people use it, but I hadn't seen you use it. And you just kept intercepting me because I was always doing those cross routes. I'm like, this fucking bastard, he's figured it out. All right, gotta switch it up, dude. And because you used to just roll off to the side of the field, you pick some like mobile quarterback, bomb it all the way the fuck downfield, interception every time, because I just knew exactly what you were going to do. I didn't have to do much, and I'd always play the cornerback.
I'm not a deep passer. I like short. I like play action runs, or get the running game going. I could open up the play action. I can't throw deep. Never been a deep passer. I'll never. I mean, if I practice, maybe it would be good, but I'm not going to throw it deep.
Yeah, you don't really do it deep anymore or anything like that. But yeah, now you're a lot better. I'm just mediocre. I feel like I'm just average now. Like I'm not terrible, but I'm not super amazing either. Probably because I don't have time to play. Man, I play Madden like once every couple months. But yeah, we're getting off topic. We'll go back to what we were talking about. By the way, did you know that Devontae Smith, he got fired on his day off?
Fired.
Hold on, I'll show you.
That because AJ Brown's in town now? Boom.
Here he goes. So the announcer for the Philadelphia Eagles said, Philadelphia Eagles, Barstool Philly was like, former Philadelphia Eagles Devontae Smith is in the house for the Sixers, and you see the little banner down there.
Mm-hmm.
The Sixers said that he was a former Philadelphia Eagle. That motherfucker is still on the team, and then Devontae Smith goes, "Damn, I got fired on my day off, bro."
He got drafted last year. Why would he get fired?
Like, you're fucking terrible, bro. We're getting ready to do
this year, though, having AJ Brown on the other side of him.
Mm-hmm. It'll open up the field a little bit more for him. He's not going to have double coverage on him all the time because you're going to have a lot more weapons on that team now because AJ Brown ain't the only one. But we don't have to go into all that. But yeah, I just started laughing when I saw that shit. I had to share it with you.
The man would say, "You're fired."
He used to do that shit all the time. Fired. Richard Sherman, he's in talks with the Amazon over a key role for NFL programming. What are your thoughts on that, bud?
I'd like that. Obviously, I don't think he can play at a professional level anymore and not that he can't, because his body can't hold up. So him to be like going out there, maybe do what Tom Brady's gonna do in the future, like. I'd like to hear him talk, especially because he's very blunt at what he talks about. So I'm like, that'd be really interesting to see him be honest at a professional level. Like, hey, that guy's not good.
I like Richard Sherman a lot, man. Like, I remember back in the day, you used to go at Skip Bayless's life all the time. Whenever Skip Bayless would say some fucking dumbass shit about Richard, he's clapping right back. And he has such that charismatic personality, man. I feel like he's going to bring a lot to the to broadcasting in general. And he's not the only person who's coming to broadcasting, apparently. So right now, Sherman, he's still open to join an NFL team, but he will be joining a broadcast. They're in the talks right now with Amazon. And Amazon stepped it up a year early. They were supposed to start in 2023. They're starting this year. But this man, Tom Brady, says, we are pleased to announce that immediately following his playing career, 7-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady will be joining us at Fox Sports as our lead analyst. Tom Brady also retweeted that and said, excited, but a lot of unfinished business on the field with the Buccaneers. Let's fucking go. So what are your thoughts on your lover possibly being a broadcaster?
Well, first of all,
not possibly, but actually being a broadcaster.
I was very much terrified today because I thought he retired again. Oh God, no, please don't. And then I wake up, I read it, I'm like, okay, he's gonna do that in the future. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of fucking money right there. I would listen to him talk all day. So absolutely, let's go. I mean, I'm so down for him to be a broadcaster. I watch it every Sunday. I even put it on DVR and record that bitch. I'll put the candles around, light a cigar, and like, yes, rewind. What did he say? That's perfect.
You gotta think about it too. Like this man, like I think he made like 300, maybe 50 million or something like that his entire 20-year career.
No, I think it was like 222 million.
Even worse, like for 10 years now, he's going to get $375 million. That is like $37 million a year for him to talk on 21 games throughout the season. 21. One time per week on a Sunday. Gets to spend time with his kids still. And right now, he's going to try and win another Super Bowl, whether he's here for 1 more year, 2 more years, 3 more years. But eventually, he's going to be in the broadcasting booth. The reason I'm enjoying him, yes, I hate Tom Brady. I've hated him for a long time, but I've grown to like him a little bit more. I am still a Colts fan. I'm still going to hate him if he's versing my team. Or if he's in the playoffs, I'm going to be rooting against him the majority of the time. I'm always going to be a hater. But he's considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And you want to be able to hear that knowledge. One thing that really pissed me off about Peyton Manning is he didn't do any broadcasting until last year. But last year, when you watched Peyton Manning and him talk on Monday Night Football on the Manning cast, and him and Eli, they were breaking down plays. They were talking about things. He's like, "Oh, this is about to come up. This is about to happen." And I think Tom Brady was on one of those, and he was doing the same exact thing. They both watched tape before all that happened. So it's like he's going to be on there for 10 years. We're going to be seeing this man break down plays just like Tony Romo does and calling things before they happen. And we get to see what it's like to be in a guy who's like, when I compare Tom Brady, you see like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, like they strive to keep doing the things that they're doing. Like they do whatever it takes. And now you get to listen to one of those guys.
Need some water. Just give Brady some more.
I figured you was gonna like this, man. But yeah, man, like I just feel like it's good for the NFL. It's good for Fox. They're gonna get a lot more viewers on Fox now because everyone's gonna want to know what it's like to be in the mindset like of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. They want to know what he's thinking, and they get to see him every single Sunday. Also, I'm also wondering, was Peyton Manning ever offered this? Like, if he was, like, you turned down $375 million, like, and all you have to do is talk once a week?
I'm sure he was, but on like different aspirations and goals and different directions. You know what I mean? So I don't think he was offered $375 million like Tom, but
probably a lot more. Probably like $425 million or something. You know.
But I got 10 years of recording Tom Brady Sunday night football. I gotta get all the space I can on this DVR. I'm telling you.
Hey, you got something to look forward to because, you know, once he retires, you're like, oh, damn, I'm not going to see Brady anymore. But now you will. What if
now I know I got 10 years to get in the broadcasting booth with this podcast, so we get big enough. Oh, my God, we get end up the game. We get to interview Tom Brady. Oh, my God.
Here's a crazy prediction that I have. What if Tom Brady and Gronkowski are in the booth on Sunday Night Football?
Holy!
Gronkowski's already done like not like broadcasting and like that, but he's been like involved in that type of field before. Well, I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Hearing Gronk and Brady go at it, teasing each other on live TV and shit like that. I feel like that'd be really good. I think as of right now, they have Greg Olsen filling in the spot and Kevin something or whatever. I just feel that's kind of. I mean, that's gonna suck for Greg, but I mean. I guess it's Tom Brady. He's gonna have to like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fucking Tom Brady. But hey, man, it's gonna be good for the game. I like it a lot. I like that. I like the decision. I like that Brady wants to do that, you know, and he still gets to spend time with his kids.
Yeah, you know what would have been cool if we can go back in time, like if Tom Brady was like older, like him and John Madden in a booth together.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know. That's all here. But,
I like Al Michaels. I feel like Al Michaels is my go. Like he's my ledge when it comes to broadcasting, man. Yeah. Al Michaels is that motherfucking dude, bro.
I love Chris Collinsworth.
You said what?
Chris Collinsworth when he.
I mean, I fucking hate him. He feels like I feel like he's nails on a chalkboard. There was like the longest time I fucking hated him. I kind of grew a little bit more respect for him when I found out that he was the owner of Pro Football Focus. So I'm like, all right, maybe he is smart, but I just hate when he's like, here's a guy, or like, you know, I can go on. And he's always riding Aaron Rodgers' penis. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's different. Get more players involved. Broadcasting would be good.
Absolutely, man. And if you think about it, I feel like all these quarterbacks are getting paid more. Like fucking Patrick Mahomes is making more, I think, in his entire 10-year contract than Brady made his entire 20-year career.
With the Chiefs, and that's why he only got one Super Bowl win, and that's why I only got one Super Bowl win. So I'm just being realistic. Mahomes is all right.
We shall see. They loaded up this year. We'll see what's going on. Sort of. James Bradbury was cut by the Giants. Apparently couldn't find a trade partner. They saved about $10.1 million in cap space. What do you think James Bradbury is headed to next? Before you say the Colts, I mean, I would like him to come for the Colts because there would be plenty of We need plenty of starters. Right? I think you need around I think Darius Butler said this. You need about 5 to 6 starters. So that's been in my head ever since. Ever since he said that he wanted to be a coach, I've been trying to pick his brain and whatnot. But yeah, I agree. We need about 5 or 6 starters because people get injured, people go down. But I think his asking price. I think he's going to be asking for too much money. So I don't think that the Colts will sign him. I think that the Chiefs will sign him. But where do you think his destination will go?
Well, how old is he now? 29. He's roughly 29.
How old is James Bradbury? 28.
Okay, so it's probably 28 going on 29. So he's gonna try to get one more big contract. That sounds about right?
Yep.
You already got Stephon Gilmore. You're not gonna sign another corner. I know I joked with you earlier today in person about you guys signing him. It's probably not gonna happen. Chiefs, they drafted a whole bunch of defensive players. That's probably not gonna happen. If I had to think about a team that would sign him, it'd probably be the Bills, the Jets, or the Vikings.
Actually, I could see the Vikings and the Jets. I do like both those picks. Jets are trying to get better, especially defensively. I still call them the Colts stock pile or trash pile because every time we discard somebody, they pick them up. So the Vikings would be a good one. They haven't had anyone relevant since Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson's old, and you don't know if he's going to hold up a full season. And you got Aaron Rodgers. I factored Aaron Rodgers being in the division with them. Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like those picks, man. I say the Chiefs just because the Chiefs need help on their defensive end. They were very terrible until like the second half of the season last year and whatnot. I feel like they just need some more defensive pieces, and that's one of them. And I feel like they're the team that spends the money. The Patriots and the Colts are the team that doesn't spend the money. That's why I don't think we'll get them. But something I thought you might find humorous, Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson wants a second team in Dallas, particularly an AFC team. He said this tweet. I will get rid of that. He said the answer is Dallas because down here it says if the NFL announced a new expansion team, what city do you think deserves it most? And this guy was like, the answer is Dallas. Why? We are about to pass Chicago Metro and become the number 3 metro in the United States, which would make us the largest United States metro without 2 teams. Football is king here. Dallas needs an expansion team and would be able to sustain 2 NFL teams better than LA or New York. What are your thoughts on that, homie?
I agree. Texas is booming, especially Dallas, Austin, all those different areas. You got the Texans, you got the Cowboys. It's a big state, so why not have a second team? Jerry Jones, come on, dude. I know he's going to probably be egotistical and be like, oh, no, Dallas Cowboys, we're the only team in Dallas. No, they should have an expansion team. If you're that big, have an expansion team. It's good for football.
I don't think so. So this is what I think. I think that Jerry is sitting in his office right now. He's got his fucking feet up, just this motherfucker. He wants to make a motherfucking team in my fucking city? Oh, fuck no! We ain't having this shit. You know what? Fire his ass. I don't want him as my fucking mayor no more. He ain't getting my fucking vote next year. Fuck this man.
You're fired.
Fired. He's literally going to get Vince McMahon. He's going to hire him just so he could tell this man he's fired from his position. That's such a disrespect, though, to that team. And you got to think about it. They're America's team. They've been America's team for 30, 40 years and haven't won a fucking Super Bowl. If they're going to make another expansion team, I do not think we should be anywhere in Texas. They already have too many fucking teams in Texas. No. Let me think of let me just look at. Let's just look at the United States of America. I'm gonna look up. Pick a random place. USA map.
America.
All right, let me pull this up right quick. All right, let's see.
You know what? You know how you can tell if there's another franchise can be?
How about New Mexico? New Mexico ain't got shit. They ain't ever getting shit.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good there. We don't need to there.
You don't want to put one in New Mexico?
Nah, I'm good.
What about Missouri?
No.
We got Kansas City near there.
Hey, this is how we'll figure it out. If an eagle lands on my shoulder during the 4th of July and says America, I will know where the team's going next. Because that would be very patriotic. And I'm like, you know what? I'll be the one to decide the next location of the team. Deuces. Dumbest thing that's ever come out of my mouth. I'm sorry.
Dude, no, I just don't think they should be in Dallas, man. Fuck Dallas, bro. If anywhere, I don't know. There's plenty of places that they could put one, but I'm telling you right now, New Mexico is a good one.
Gosh, because if there's a new team in Dallas, I'm like, oh, you guys got the new improved Dallas Cowboys.
Well, what? They would take so many teams and divide that city up, bro. How pissed off would Jerry Jones be, man? Losing all those fucking fans. I think, honestly, realistically, I think they should do one out of the country. I don't think they should do one in the United States. Maybe do one in like Europe, or maybe one in Canada.
That'd be so much traveling, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, they got the Toronto Raptors over in the NBA and the Toronto Blue Jays and the Maple Leafs, I think they're called, or something like that. Like, get Toronto another team up there and give them an NFL team, you know. And it kind of opens the door for, you know, the Canadian Football League. They can snack some players over there, and it'll just be a trash team, bro. Just another trash team.
I'd say Canada before Europe.
And Drake can root for them, and then Drake can get more involved in the NFL.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, I fell on my cell phone late after midnight. Talk about a new team?
Keep going, bro.
No, that's not. I can't wait any further. I'm not that creative.
All righty. Well, thank you for being on the show, Danny. You've been humorous today, homie. Anything else you want to add?
Go Patriots and Bucks.
Boo. You and your Brady lovers. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for coming on the show.
Deuces.
All right, guys. Well, if you guys have any questions about anything that went out throughout today, if you think that Dave Chappelle's attacker definitely need to get his ass whooped, if you think that the name, image, and likeness recruiting the name, image, likeness rule is a fucking recruiting tool, do you think that Don Ventrell was rightfully fired, or do you think that there is some more shit going down? Do you think that Baker Mayfield is just blowing smoke out his ass, or do you think they really had some beef with Kevin Stefanski and they were really making him look bad? Give us your thoughts about mental health, and also give us your thoughts about Brady being a new NFL analyst in the future. And lastly, do you think that Dallas deserves a fucking second team, or you think that's the stupidest thing you've literally ever heard in your entire life? And if so, where do you think that new expansion team should be at? Thank you guys for listening. I can't read, I can't write, I can't do math, but I can do one thing. I can motherfucking compete. I don't know who this guy is that just said that, but that just made me laugh. That's kind of funny. Apparently no one wrote that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. By the way, don't forget, subscribe below. We need 8 more subscribers. Yeah, 8 more subscribers, and we'll hit 100, and we can name the show whatever the fuck we want. Instead of saying youtube.com, y equals mx plus b times 4 divided by 2, you can just put youtube.com/Dougherty Show. And give a shout out to our sponsors. Make sure you follow Mark on YouTube. Follow Messi_Jesse's_art on Instagram, and check out SmittyBlack.com. Appreciate everyone for listening. Peace out.